Well, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
This is Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, back on Orsha East once more for another monthly tournament coverage. Who do we have, sir?
Left-hand side in the blue, we have Foltest playing the Panssari Division R with Maverick income. Right-hand side in the red, we have Stan playing the Czech Brigade with a Maverick income.
Now, folks, of course, the Czech Brigade, these guys are new. It is worth mentioning that I think probably the funniest troop that we have in the entire brigade would hopefully be seen in B-Face, like the disheartened converted RAF. Which, if you were RAF in the first place, I understand why you would be disheartened after being drafted into the front lines. But hey, I don't know. What should we expect here, sir?
Yeah, it's just both sides have lots of medium tanks, Cromwells versus the hodgepodge Panzer Divisional galore. You, of course, Finnish infantry do be scary. So we'll see if they can be scary enough to push through just a horde of converted gunners, because it's probably just going to be disheartened meat shield cheer from Stan. Or the regular converted gunners aren't disheartened, they're a little bit more motivated.
Yes, they are, but right now that 4-pack of Cromwells is terrifying, and then we have 2 Crusaders moving up after this. Yeah, folks, we saw a ton of Finnish material over here on Tuesday. Panzer Division doesn't get the same type of breakout, but with 4 Cromwells and 2 Crusaders, I don't know that really anything is going to survive in the air.
Yeah, I like just the sheer aggressiveness of this, and look, he's even using the anti-aircraft units in direct fire support and doing serious damage here. There's a KV-1 and a T-28 also being brought up as well, so we'll just have to see if they can hold a line.
Well, they're certainly taking out the occasional vehicle here. T-20 is probably not going to go too much further. Second Cromwell goes down, excuse me. But the important thing here as well is that we're not seeing the Finns get their usual dominance right there. So that's I think, or I would argue, even more important. And geez, and the Blenheim's already down. Good lord, that was fast.
Damn. Yeah, this is a really good central push here from Stan. However, the rest of the map is not looking good at all because he invested everything here, pretty much everything. And the north and southern flanks are, well, very much in Finnish control with very little bloodshed. So, you know, Foltest right now getting that nice little +1 there. He's at the +2 earlier.
But I think part of it over there is it's just because it feels like the Czech Brigade, and to be fair, this is the first one of the replays we're casting. I feel like the Czechs, you have to be ridiculously aggressive because you're not going to have the staying power. And maybe
they remind me of the Polish Armor Division, the ST-44 one, where you don't have the infantry to grind out or the quality, but by God, you have a lot of Cromwells, and Cromwells are really good, cost-effective tanks in this game, especially if you can get them into maneuver warfare. So you just need to try to make a breakthrough somewhere and not get into that grind. Well, if you do get into the grind, you do have all the heavy artillery, but that still only takes you so far on a 1v1.
Well, and you have Churchills as well, and not for nothing, while these guys don't smoke and womanize as well as their namesake, they do kill very, very effectively. They have ridiculous penetration. These are the things, 175 armor value penetration, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's got those, because I believe Mark IV is the 6-pounder one.
Yes, it
so
is.
So has a high rate of fire, just a little lacking in the HE department. But especially against Panzer Division, they're a pretty damn good counter, because they can kill the majority of the Panzer Division as Panzers.
But I think what we're trying to see here is we're trying to see a Protzen Heights type of opportunity, where Foltest says, okay, you know what, I want to take every bit of territory where you aren't, and Stanchikowski says, hey, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to take the center and then crush your 2 wings whenever I want to. And between the two of them, I feel like, yes, the Cromwells and the Churchills can certainly do that when and if they feel like it.
Yeah, feels very much all in very early on, just through... Yeah, Stan is continuously just reinforcing the center. He's trying to make his fair point happen. He's bringing in a whole bunch of infantry to clear out that last little line of defense on the hill. And the question is, where does he go once he captures the hill? Does he try to hook down south or up north to take the flanks? Or does he just keep going forward and just try to get to the spawn? Why not?
Well, right now, he's going to take the entire head hill and pretty much just kind of laugh the entire time as he does it.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Fusiliers, by the way. Stens, K98, FM-24s, and anti-tank grenades. The grand mishmash of, we don't know what to give you, so we'll give you all the garbage that we have left over.
Yeah. We got a British, French, and German weapons all thrown into one.
Exactly. There is a Sturmy, actually two Sturmies in the BAF C over here trying to go and shut this entire push down. Not for nothing. You can kill as many of those converter gunners as you want to. They are cheap as chips, and that's not going to bother.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Foltest just to try to maintain some sort of presence on the hill. At least those Sturmies can provide some long-range fire support, including the BT-42 also being brought in. So, yeah, Stan's getting a little bit choke-pointed here as all his troops are just bunched up and getting blown up.
Yes, though we are seeing Nostovaki going to be engaged by converted gunners and fusiliers in the southern town, just north of the bottom of that neck. And the Nimrod being brought in as well in the center. Yeah, there's a lot of very strange matchups happening right about now, and I love all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything's going on all over the place.
And Stan's going to actually go up here in just a second, because the Nostovaki is going to get run down like, like something I probably couldn't say on this particular replay, but it's 12-12 right now. It's 13-11 right now. And I don't know. I feel like Stan's on the brink of something. I don't know if it's something great or terrible, but he has taken out that Nimrod in the center.
Yeah, it really comes down to whether Stan can clear out this hill and then push from it. If he just gets pinned down in this hill and he can't completely clear it, yeah, and Foltest can just continue maneuvering around the map and just securing the northern and southern sections and Rin. So I'm really just loving this all-in, very aggressive, speed, violence, momentum opener here. It's exactly what you need to be doing as the Czechs.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is one of those things where, guys, you cannot afford the bill. That's why you always have to call for the check early. So that's exactly, I think, how you should be playing these guys in the future. Cluster 87 goes down. That's 100 points down the drain for 0 return on the investment. And we've been missing it, but up north, there actually has been a rather hefty push to retake some of this territory. Not enough to take anything important, mind you. And indeed, we have seen a couple of half-tracks go down because of it. But the Finns, who are often just the kings of CQC, just are actually getting pushed back.
Yeah, it's just a sheer rate of numbers here, as well as some armored vehicles helping out quite a bit. The Sturmy trying to, stabilize the situation with their long-range fire supports, and it is working. It is keeping Stan pinned down on the hill. And Stan, I'm actually surprised he hasn't tried to push up any of his tanks to try and contest the Sturmies down below. I guess he just, especially the Churchills, maybe bring for a little bit of infantry to clear the road for him, even though we can see it's pretty clear for him to push.
Well, that's that Spitfire right about now. Recon Spitfire coming in is trying to do. So it cleared up, and we'll see, yep, one Cromwell's moving to the edge, another Cromwell's moving to the edge. The Churchills, I kind of understand the reticence. The Cromwells are, for really lack of a better term, disposable by comparison.
Oh, the 17-pounder position, that is clutch. That's such a good spot. He's going to be able to knock out both of these Sturmies if he can maneuver.
Oh, he's got one already. Of course. Ooh, that is a tight line of sight there.
Damn, yeah, knocks out both, and that really does open up just the rest of the southern slope over to Stan here. He just needs to take advantage of this opportunity.
And I think we're actually going to see another, Blenheim goes down as well. So there's a lot of very, very harsh kills going on here. The 17-pounder got the North Sturmy as well. Jeez, I wasn't even seeing that one. There's 17-pounders in every direction. The Crusader's moving up. He's going to cause some havoc if he ever gets eyes on any one of those PBIs.
No, very effective use of just the anti-tank guns as they're very good on this map. Once, you may just play of, you clear out the hill, you now need to defend it. Might as well put big bloody anti-tank guns, to just zone it out. Especially against Panzer Division, because those 17-pounders are way more than enough to deal with all the armored vehicles available to the Panzer Division. And Foltest actually invested in some more armor to try and deal with this, but I don't know, it's looking kind of tough for him. Like, he's just has not traded effectively at all. If you look at the front line here, there's not a whole lot left.
Well, northern side has now completely fallen. The Jakari over here has taken out a Cromwell, but it's like the Hydra. He kills one Cromwell and another one rises in return. It's all his converted gunners charging on behind. So even as the other Cromwell gets struck down, he will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, Cromwells were nerfed for a little bit, I believe, in their speed, but they're seriously, like, one of the best, like, cheap medium tanks in the game. You probably see them more if they're a bit more common compared to the Z-3476, or for obvious reasons, not a whole lot of English divisions or Commonwealth divisions in this game, but they got the speed, they got the 75mm, they got 2 machine guns, they got just enough armor. They're really effective for that 50-point investment, and that speed really allows you to just get into some rather nasty spots.
Well, a really nasty spot's happening right about now at a Foltest. You might have been saying to himself, wait a second, I know I had troops up here a second ago, where did I put them? And the answer for that is, folks, look 6 feet under, and you might find what's left of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got the +3 bleed here now, and it's really not looking good here for Foltest. I mean, these areas on the southern slope of the hill, you could get back into them. You don't need to necessarily hold them, just try to shut down the flag, as Rostan is slowly maneuvering up, but I think he's a bit more happy just setting up that good defense along the hill.
Well, the thing is, too, is that if the ISU 152 goes down, that northern push is DOA.
Yeah. And even then, the T-26 is going to have a hard time against the Cromwell. Typhoon coming in.
Doesn't get the kill, but he forces him back, which is almost as good in this case.
Mm-hmm. That's going to give the Cromwells and machine guns time to clear up the rest of the push. So the Cromwell does actually go down to the T-26, showing that it can still have a bit of bite.
The thing is that even the T-26 is going down and taking one of the Cromwells with them. I would very much enjoy telling the crowd to take a look at the 2 Churchills moving on in. Oh, and by the way, there's a Firefly moving on in, so it's... The Czechs are socking it to them. Like, this is really, really a brutal attack.
Yeah, they started off with all the medium cheap tank spam, and now they're following up with the heavy hitters. I mean, that Firefly as well, just up north, is... It's just so much armor here. It's gonna be very hard, even for the Finnish Panzer Division, to out-panzer the Cromwells.
Well, here's the kind of mildly amusing bit. That Cromwell is trying to find the Nimrod. He's not going to do it, but he will find a Kavari that'll move on in and go, ha-ha, and hurl a grenade into his face. And that will be the end of another Cromwell. But we'll see that happening, I imagine, here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking about, like, what the heck do you do as Foltest? You're running low on time when you actually have a ton of income. Here comes the kill. There we go. So you're running low in terms of income to really be able to turn this back around. How the heck do you do that? With Panzer Division, like, I feel like you have to be amassing a lot more troops, and you're headed into your leanest time. Like, how that seems like an impossible task.
Yeah, he's just an early trade and the initial engagement really screwed him over. It's now such an uphill battle for him to try to get back up from. I mean, probably his best bet is you just kind of set up a decent defensive line along the central northern area of Pack 40s to try to fight the tanks at long range. And then maybe down south, try to flank around and hit from the side, from the south to the north. But even then, Foltest is just not in a good position. I mean, a lot of the time, matches can really come down to that first 10-minute trade. And the trade for Stan was just so devastating. I think he's pretty securely going to get the dub here.
That's probably pretty fair. I mean, there's a couple of skirmishes being moved along the slope, the southern, kind of like that southern mid-arterial along the slope, trying to put eyes on the neck. We are seeing an attempt, and I put that in air quotes here, one, to put a Lanti behind enemy lines, which he's going to do very, very effectively. Unfortunately for him, Stan doesn't really give two giggles about the center that much anymore. Now he's saying, okay, you know what? I've taken what I need to. Now it's time to work the flanks. Now it's time to shore things up. Yeah, he doesn't care much anymore. ISU 152 is dead in the north. We have the Churchills, who are kind of keeping all those Finns in the trees. And converted gunners who are just kind of striding across the open without a care in the world. Like, that is a hard thing to watch as a player.
Yeah. And the southern flank here of the Akaris are going to get some decent pickups here, but it's just not a whole lot of fire support backing them up. Right now, the Sturmies, I believe, they're actually being brought in to more set up a defensive line to deal with the middle rather than follow up through the Akaris, who, they're kind of going to take some heavy casualties from all that fire support.
Actually, the Zanista here are actually pretty solid. That might be, without the high explosives, of course, that's probably one of the best well-rounded engineer squads I've seen in quite a bit of time.
Yeah, they got a little bit of everything. Decent enough mid-range and decent enough close range.
Very, very true. Checking back to the north real quick. The converted gunners are almost into the forest. The Churchills and a Cromwell are just kind of putting some tons and tons of fire in there. The converted gunners are going to take the forest eventually. Obviously, not without losing a hefty number of troops. And yet, the fact that they'll take it at all is quite shocking.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even really need to. There's no real flag points to get here. You just need to set up a defense line by the farm and the crossroad, and you're good to go. But he is pretty determined to make that forest his forest.
I'm trying to figure out if the Fusiliers over here against the Kaivaris are just really that much worse. And then I realize, they have Stend, and the Kaivaris have, the Finnish Papa Shah. I don't know why I would think they would have anything else, and how it would go any differently, rather.
Bit of a furball down south here. Typhoon's coming in hot, getting some decent hits.
Exactly. Cromwell's sliding in behind, Recon Cromwell's, which is probably one of the more laughable ideas. But Recon Cromwell's moving on in. And there's a giant column of Nostavaki.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think preaches of just the sheer abject terror that Foltest must be feeling right about now.
Yeah, it's massing them all up. I'm guessing this is just kind of one final play to try to make a breakthrough from the south into the central position, but as you've seen, the Churchills actually repositioning to deal with this versus machine guns, the half-tracks, the recon Cromwells. Lack of fire support is just going to shut this post down.
Sturmey's engaged in the Firefly. Firefly to the south does have the drop on the Sturmey, though, too, so should be able to get at least another 2 rounds off, but he only needs 1. Yikes. The Nostavaki drop out because they realize, wait a second, we have no more cover. And that Firefly is just putting rounds downrange on them already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done here. A ×2, perhaps, sir?
Yeah, let's do it at 3105.
Alrighty.
×2.
And folks, you're going to see here just the Czechs certainly putting their stamp, putting paid on the bill, really. Their first time out with us, really, really well done. Stan knows how to play a lot of divisions here, but I was really skeptical because usually you would see these new divisions kind of get rocked a little bit more, especially against what I would consider to be a relatively strong Panzer division.
Yeah, he just did a very good job of, just forcing that fight and making that breakthrough. Because especially against the Finns, even the Panzer division run, you don't want to be, getting into those grindy infantry fights. And he completely avoided that. I mean, just look at the KD. It's brutal. He forced, open tank fight with his superior firepower, and very easily got the dub.
Yes, he did. And actually, I really want to make sure I take a look at these kills because the Crusader, 1, 2, 3 air kills. The Cromwell, almost a student of history, but a student over here instead. So T28, as well as one of those Nimrods. Well done there. But the 17 Pandas, what you called out? Look at that guy. No.
Damn. Another Chrome Rails, yeah, really solid picks, yeah, from Stan.
Very solid picks. Is there anyone to celebrate from the Finns? Well, there's one Yakari. It's the guy in the north who's able to take out the Cromwell and that half track. Well done to you, sir. And Akulov, other than that, despite having the name of the People's Champion with Mannerheim, that other Kaivari only picking up a Cromwell and a Fusilier squad.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts, sir?
No, just good play, Stan.
Very good play, Stan. King Foltest, perhaps next time there, my friend. But well done for the CIABG. Until next time, I'm Conoverk.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.